But I will say, man, like, as I get older, bro, I get really just focused on what the fuck I'm doing. Like, if you ask me, I probably don't know 10% of what's going on in the industry. I just do what I do and go from there. Like, I don't listen to other rap. I don't listen. Well, first of all, most of other rap is not anything near what I'm doing. It doesn't relate to it at all. So it's like, I only listen to people that I've always been inspired by. You know what I mean? Or people that like I come across that are cut from the same cloth of what I've been inspired by, like fucking RJ Payne or Benny the Butcher or Rome Streets or people like that. Like, I'm especially like, as long as my career is banned, I finally figured out one fucking thing, man. I'm really good at rapping. I'm good at making beats. I'm good at singing, songwriting. Definitely better at songwriting than singing, but together I'm pretty good. But nowhere near as good as I am at rapping. So I've made a conscious decision in the last couple of years to be like, I'm going back to what people were really, what really turned people on about me to begin with. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's my rapping. And now I'm older. It's like, bro, I don't have all the time in the world to be a rapper anymore. So I might as well do it. And like, instead of always trying to like, oh man, I gotta try to like walk that line. It's the same thing that we were just talking about with all these white rappers, you know what I mean? Or any rapper in general, white, black, Latino, whatever. Like, instead of trying to be ill and come up with a hit at the same time and find the formula, just do what you're good at and let it come out however it comes out. And that's art. You know what I mean? Like, don't try to be so strategical with your creativity because it's going to put you in a box. Now, with the Shady shit, yeah, when I started singing, that's what put them onto me. And, that happened, and thank God that happened. So I wasn't, like, they weren't concerned with my raps at all whatsoever. Like, the dude that actually like kind of facilitated that deal and introduced me to Paul and Eminem, and not introduced me, but like introduced my music. He actually encouraged me not to rap. He was like, don't rap, bro. You're going to get on way more if you sing. If you put out, like, fucking go put some, you look like a hoodlum. Go put some fucking H&M clothes on, or Express. Go shop at Express. And and although I didn't agree with shit he was saying, I tried it. I tried to make them happy. I tried to make him happy. Didn't work out, but I was like, okay, all right, man. At least I'll be doing some sort of music, and I love music. So, right, like, whether I'm producing, whether I'm singing, writing and singing, or whether I'm rapping, it's like I like doing all three equally, pretty much. So it's like, okay, I'll try to venture off this way, the way you want me to go right now, and it proved to not do anything. Like,
is that why you did that song, like Bedroom Bully?
Mm-hmm, absolutely. That whole Good Luck album, bro, like 75% of that is me singing, like singing songs as if I was a fucking pop R&B artist. And there's a few gems on there, but to me, I didn't know how to be a pop R&B artist. I wasn't built like that. My whole life has been rapping. So I'm like,
I was really surprised, bro, because like I got introduced to you through the reels and seeing like, man, like this dude can really spit, right? And then all of a sudden I started like,
thank you, bro,
going back in the archives, and I'm like, yo, what? This is him? I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I was like, wow, you know what I mean? I mean, I was a little distracted because the girl you had in the video too. I was like, wow, you know, but I mean, like,
Oh yeah. There was some baddies in that video. Shout out to Cassie and Jillian. Those are the two girls in that video.
I was just surprised, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, bro. It was crazy. It was, bro, that the whole shady shit was just crazy because, like I said, I wanted to be a rapper. Dude that kind of like was assigned to me was like kind of my manager because he's the one that discovered me and brought me to Paul and Eminem, who signed me. But they were like, okay, well, you discovered him, so you know,
he was like the A&R,
yes, basically. You're the A&R, yeah. and you know, I don't want to say he didn't know music that well, or it just seemed like he didn't really know music that well, but I just kind of, that's the vibe I got off of him after a while.
He had like an outdated formula, basically, of like what, like kind of
not a outdated. I just think he came up doing other shit for them. And
got you.
And then I think he was put in a position to where like, okay, well, let's test your A&R ear. And then he found me, which is like flattering in a way. It's like, okay, you thought I was nice with the singing shit, and you did tell me I was a dope rapper, but you know, you guys already had the best rapper in the world, and I agreed with you. I'm like, yeah, you do. But I remember the day I met him, and he already had came up with like this vision for how he wanted to work with me. He was like, I don't want you to rap. I'm not interested in that. And I'm like, fuck. Like, it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking, bro. And I'm like, well, what do you want me to do then? He's like, man, I think you can get on doing hooks and sing and writing full songs for these big pop artists. And I'm like, okay, absolutely, I'll do that. I'm down. Let's work. And then we worked for like 2 years, and I would send him hooks and shit, and he would be like, oh, I'm gonna send them around and see who bites. And nobody ever bit. And but then Paul heard my music from him, and he liked it, and he was like, who is this? This guy's dope. So the dude, he called me and he's like, yo, you need to get to New York like in the next 2 days because Paul wants to have a meeting with you. And he's like, don't get excited, but he wants to sign you. And I'm like, what the fuck? Are you
Wait, so before then you were just working with like no contract or anything like that? Like you were just
Wait, what do you mean?
Before the signing, before meeting with Paul, like how were you working? Was it under a contract or?
Oh yeah, it was under like a verbal agreement that like okay, if anything happens, you're gonna be my manager at 20%.
Got you. Okay.
So like if you get me something, then it's on. You know what I mean? So he got me the deal, and thank him for that. Like, he'll remain nameless because I don't want to talk shit about my guy. Like, he's still kind of like I care about him. That's my dog from back in the day. Like, even though we just kind of fell out, but he what was I saying? Yeah, he discovered me, and he
right. So then he was
you're
my having
manager.
The deal. I mean, you're going to New York and you're going to talk to Paul. So what happened?
To Paul, yep. And then Paul was like, "Hey man, how would you feel about being a singer-songwriter for us?" And I was like, "That would be amazing. Like, I'm anything. What do you want me to do? Like, I'm fucking. Let's do it. Let's further my career." And I don't care if it's me rapping, if it's me singing, if it's me anything. And he was like, okay, so you're gonna write songs or hooks or whatever, or make beats for pop artists, like we're really not looking for you to work with anybody that's on our label or on our roster. We're trying to, because all right, so Shady is a boutique label and they only had like a couple artists, right? One being one of the biggest in the world, Eminem, and then the others being like these other rappers and stuff that were doing okay. So they're a boutique label. So to sign me, they went half and half with Universal Music Publishing. Universal Music is this whole wide
parent company.
Yes, entertainment company with writers, movie directors, fucking movie writing, sing like songs, anything involving music and movies. You know what I mean? So they had the clientele of people that I would need to work with or work for or like write a song for, or they always had, even if it was a different label, like let's say
Def Jam,
they would be like, well, we know that this guy from Def Jam is looking for singles right now, so Astray, why don't you write for him? Like right now, like you don't have to, but it might be smart if you wrote some songs for Wiz Khalifa or some shit like that. And so, and then sometimes they would send me around the United States, like, well, not New York and LA, to studios to work with different producers that were trying to do the same thing as me. So they would like book my ticket, and I remember like through my deal, they left like a chunk of money for my travel expenses and all that kind of stuff. And I got to work with some really cool people, but I never landed any kind of placement. And I don't know, man. I don't know if it was just because I wasn't good enough or because the guy that was in charge of my career, that like Paul assigned him to me. I don't know if it was because he was kind of fronting on all the people he said he knew. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't tell. I'll never know. But I look at it like...
Are you technically still signed at this point to them?
Not no more. No, I...
When did that deal end?
I don't know exactly when it ended, but it ended at least 2 years ago. Like...
Got you.
So I thought that I was signed for life, no matter what, until I fulfilled my obligations that were in the contract to them, and which was a lot of fucking obligations. And I thought that I was signed for life, but I didn't know. And the fucking asshole attorney that they hired to look over my contract and facilitate the deal and make it so he represented me. But people say that that's crazy too, because it's like a conflict of interest. Like it was someone they knew that they hired to...
That's wild.
Yeah, right? And so I don't know. I never looked into that, but I ain't trying to stir no shit up. I'm just like, whatever, man.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I was with them for so fucking long. And even and the way me and oh boy kind of fell out and I fired him is because the whole time, like I said, he didn't want me to rap, bro. He did not. He was like, fuck rap, to the point where I was still rapping. I was like, dog, you can't get me to stop rapping. This is what I do. This is who I am. A publishing deal isn't going to decide who the fuck I am. You didn't sign me as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't make a plan for me to be a fucking R&B pop singer right out the gate. Like, you were like, oh, I just don't like rap. I'm not into rap. I'm not into working with rappers. I'm like, that's your fault. Like, you signed me. There was nothing in the contract stating you can't rap. I don't want you to rap. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like nobody had a problem with it except for this dude. And it was just, I wasted so much fucking time on listening to him and trying to... It got to a point where, like, you're working in a place where you don't really know how to work. You're just doing what you're told. Like, hey, grab that mop and that bucket and fucking start mopping. Or else you're like, well, what do? I don't know what to do around here. Like there's, a million fucking buttons and shit like that. So he was basically like, yeah, I don't want you to rap. I want you to write songs. So that's what I did. I was like I said, well, I did break the fucking rules a little bit. And I did a song with King Crooked, which was like on my bucket list. I did a couple other songs, but I didn't put nothing out too heavy that was rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, very little in those couple years. And, but I did he did say, yo, these placements aren't working out and we're not getting anything placed. So I think what you should do is come out as an artist doing this shit as a singer songwriter. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is crazy. like I do not like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's like, go, and he even said he'd help me. And the motherfucker didn't help me at all. And
it seems like you were saying earlier that you've always been good at following your intuition. Yeah. You didn't follow your intuition this time.
I didn't follow it. I blindly followed this guy, and it was completely the wrong thing to do. It was wrong. I mean, I'm not saying it was the wrong thing to do. If I would have landed some placements, you know what I'm saying? I could have been in a very good space, and I could have been, if this was the right person, someone who wasn't like egotistical and mad at me rapping or had some grudge against rappers or some shit, whatever reason he didn't want me to rap. I could have did both. I could have been like a rapper, and behind the scenes, I'm a singer-songwriter, and who has a problem with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with that? So it's crazy, like, how bad he fought for me to not be a rapper. And then he told me to put a project together that was pop, not pop, but like pop R&B, or just pop, flat out pop. And so I did, and it's all singing songs. And it's like, I don't know how to be a pop artist. I don't know how to write songs for myself. I know how to step in your shoes and write something that's catchy for you, but I don't know what I want to do with myself as a writer, as a singer, songwriter, pop artist. So I feel like a lot of those songs that I came out with were cheesy. Just, I don't know, they were just like generic ass pop songs or R&B pop. But I put it out, and people don't really ever show it love or show attention to it. They're just like, on a couple songs, they're like, oh, this one's dope. There's a song called Good Luck. I think it's the first song on the album. And that's what I named the album after. And it's like really bluesy. And it's got this whole like raw, kind of like dark, aggressive, moody feeling to it. And I love that song. Or there's a song called Too Good to Be True. I love that song too. But those were me being real as a singer-songwriter. Like, I was writing about real shit in my life. The other shit was just like some, no disrespect toward Trey Songz. Like, I always, Chris Brown, those guys are fucking phenomenal artists, but I was trying to do shit that was like, I don't know what else to do for myself as a pop artist, so I'm gonna try to do what they would do and make some shit that's more like... You were trying to
force something.
Yeah, like some bedroom R&B, pop R&B. Like, so I got a song called All Night, and you can obviously You already knew just hearing the title. You were like, oh no, yeah, that's yep.
No,
So
because
I
I'm
had
trying to imagine. Look at the boom bap rapping guy that I got introduced to, and then I'm trying to imagine you in some Express shirt and shit going all night. You know what I mean?
damn.
So it's kind of funny, man.
Yeah, bro. That's I'm trying to think of other. If y'all get a chance, go look me up on Apple Music or Spotify and go listen to the album Good Luck and hear the time in my life that I tried to be a fucking pop R&B singer. And I mean, no, don't get me wrong, I still sing a lot of my hooks, but these were writing full songs and me singing, trying to be a singer. So
It's
if y'all
okay.
want
You
to
had a
hear that,
momentary identity crisis. It's all right.
you right, yeah, bro. No, it was so stressful, bro. Like, okay, so a white boy, think of it this way: a white boy from Detroit. Uh, oh, the way it looks to the world, right? A white boy from Detroit gets handpicked by Eminem from Detroit and is like, this is the new guy that's affiliated with Shady. It could have been all so fucking beautiful, bro. But I had to deal with this guy that just didn't have the right.
Did you ever ask though, like why you weren't signed to Shady Records directly, like to be an artist instead of just like the songwriter?
I was never presented to them as an artist. So the dude that discovered me and discovered my CD. So how it happened was this guy, he knew he's from Manhattan. He flew in. He always, ran errands for, Shady. So he would do shit for him. And he would always be around in Detroit. He knew mutual
I think
people.
I know who you're talking about too.
Okay. So, yep. So he knew mutual people. One of my really good friends, especially back then, Emily Smalls. They knew each other. So he was like, "Yo, Emily, could you chauffeur me around all day? Because instead of me renting a car, like I don't even know if the motherfucker knows how to drive because he lives in New York." So he was like, "Emily, could you chauffeur me around?" And she was like, "Yeah, for sure." So they both tell me this story. They were like, I told Emily to get all the local CDs because CDs were still popping at the time. This was like 2013, and he was like, get all your CDs from all the local artists that that you have, because I know that you fuck with all these artists out here. She like, everybody knew her. She was cool as hell. You know what I'm saying? So her brother, actually, Adam Smalls, he went on to become like this. I don't know exactly what he does, but I was just made aware of this the other day. He's like doing really big things in the industry now, and I'm really happy for him. Like, shout out to Adam Smalls, man. He's a really cool guy. And anyway, when I met him, he was trying to do things to get his foot in the door, and now he's got his foot in the door. So it's like, fuck yeah, hell yeah, Adam. But anyway, so he was like, Emily, bring all your CDs. And so she got like 50 CDs. And he said the whole time that they were in the car running errands that day, they listened to all 50 of those albums. And out of all 50, he chose 2 albums that he liked. And it was one was mine, and one was a guy named Travis Chandler. So he had Emily hit me up, and they had me on speakerphone, and he was like, "Yo, my guy, I like your music," and yada yada. And I'm like, for real? Is this fucking happening for real? Like, this dude from Shady? And he's like, can you meet me tomorrow down at Sweetwater Tavern by uh why am I drawing a blank? St. Andrews? And I'm like, of course. So I met him there, and Chavis was there as well. And he had a meeting with both of us. He was interested in Chavis as a rapper. He wasn't interested in me as a rapper. And he gave me my props. He was like, look, I see that you can rap really well, but I don't think that's how you're going to get on. I think what he was trying to tell me, bro, is like, even though this had never happened yet, he was like, I think if you do the Jelly Roll thing, that's how you're going to get on. Like, whether you're writing for people and you come up behind the scenes and then you have enough money to put yourself out as an artist, or we try to put you out ourselves, like me and you work together as a team. And yeah, so like I said, it broke my heart. I walked away feeling excited as fuck because I was like, well, I got some sort of an opportunity, but it's not the one I was exactly looking for. But so I was like 50-50. I was like happy and sad. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's crazy. A lot of what I was gonna say though is, yeah, that shit led to a lot of fucking, like, by the time our relationship was like winding down, and I fired him and I just didn't want to work with him no more. That shit had made me mentally sick, bro. Like, it was too much for me. And there were a few other things contributing to why I became sick, but it made me sick to the point where, like, I took a lot of time off. I was like, fuck this, fuck everything. I just want to get better. And it was too much stress.
Got you.